Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wishwell Farms. It is 3:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready to get busy loading trucks and trailers for 6 market locations. This is Saturday morning. This is our biggest sales day of the week by far. We generate about 90% of our farm's revenue on this day alone, from basically 8 to noon. Many of the markets are just 9 to noon, and our trailer right here is from 8:30 to 2. But a majority of those sales are all made in like 3 hours on Saturday morning. So getting everything packed just right can make or break my Saturday farmers market sales. So Saturdays are huge. I have to take them very seriously, and that is why I come out here before 4 a.m. to get started. And even if I had 2 or 3 kids out here helping me load, it would not really change the process. I would be doing a lot more directing on where everything goes, and I would still have to be doing the forklift driving. And even if I had them trained very well to do everything I'm getting ready to do, in the end, from my past experience trying this, it actually slows me down. So a highly trained high school or college kid or an adult would be helpful, but it couldn't happen in one summer. No way, no how. So I'm maxed out for what I can do out here from 4 to 6:30 to get all these trucks on the road. I don't want to get any bigger or expand and try to do more and try to hire and train more help to do this. I'm not into that. I don't enjoy hiring and training. So I will be scaling back some to make this a little bit easier on me as I continue to age. There's no reason I need to keep farming this hard after 25 years. And now that I'm 51, I'm starting to think into the future in the next 5 to 10 years about what is semi-retirement going to look like. I know many of you probably think that sounds crazy at my age, but farming's tough and it beats you up year after year after year doing this. I mean, it's kept me young and in shape, but I don't want to keep doing this hard into my mid and late 50s. I could talk about this for hours, but I got to get moving. I could dive into this a little bit deeper and explain a little bit more in depth about what I'm talking about, maybe later on in this video or a wintertime video, I don't know. But let me just walk around real quick and show you what I'm getting ready to do, so you can kind of get the scale of what I'm getting ready to tackle over the next 3 to 4 hours. And then I am currently holding my GoPro on my chest harness. I'm going to put my chest harness on. I'm going to let the camera run. I'm not going to be able to obviously show you all 4 hours of packing with the GoPro running, but I'll keep it on for a good chunk of my loading process, and maybe I'll kind of talk through some of it and give you some commentary on what I'm working on. But let's take a look at some of the vegetables and fruits, I guess, if you call cantaloupes fruits, right? Everything I'm getting ready to load on here. Oh, watermelons. All right, so we have a trailer out there. I'll be packing that at like 6:30. So we got a while until we have to work on that one. I'm gonna pull this trailer out of the way. It doesn't leave till 8, so it's the very last one I do. I'm gonna get it out of the way so I have a fully open barn to forklift everything I need on these 4 trucks. This one leaves at 5:30, going to our biggest farmers market today in Old Worthington, Ohio, in Columbus. That market consistently generates $5,500 to almost $6,000 every Saturday this time of year. Our next biggest truck, Clintonville Farmers Market, 5 miles north of the Ohio State University campus, the Powell Farmers Market, and the Dublin Farmers Market. So they kind of go right down the line, biggest to smallest. Money boxes for our 6 locations. I will put those in the trucks. Every truck already has a credit card machine up on the shelves and the main infrastructure to run a market. Bag racks, tents, a whole bunch of tables, more bag racks, all kinds of price card sign holders, quart containers, different size bags, scales, credit card machines, relish, everything that can just stay in the truck all week long. Right here you can see I have some things covered. That is zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, and eggplant. So I load those at night after it starts cooling down and cover them up. So I want to remove that cover, and those items will still be fairly cool. There's my brother's syrup and his garlic. Oh no, that's not garlic. These are our grape tomatoes. Quite possibly our final grape tomato day. He doesn't have garlic in here today. Joel is basically out of garlic already. So he had about 30 or 40% crop loss this year. So by the time he sets back seed for himself for next year's crop and sells a lot through his Etsy site and a ton of it through our box trucks and trailers, he is nearly out of garlic already. So his season is basically over on garlic. Excuse me, on garlic. But he has a lot of maple syrup left, so he'll continue to sell that until we wrap up our farmers market season, and he sells it online year round. Before the end of the day yesterday, I lay all of these melons out that are the final thing that get forked onto each truck after I put all the corn and green beans on the trucks. So these 2 bins will be for Worthington. I will put a pallet on top of this one, that's why it's level, and the green beans will go on top of that. It's the only way I can fit everything in this box truck because I'm getting ready to put in almost 200 dozen of bicolor. Clintonville melons. They will not have room for watermelons today. This is for the Powell market. They get a bin of watermelons and cantaloupe. And the reason I'm not gonna have room for watermelon on the Clintonville truck is because they get 40 tubs of corn. They only get 24. So they have a lot more room and half as many beans. And the Dublin market, our smallest farmer's market, it's only like 20 watermelon and 50 cantaloupe. These are just some leftovers that I'll pop back into my tomato storage room here after we're done loading. Just some random empty bins that will go on the wagon for picking on Monday morning. You see that pile of empty boxes over there? Those are empty tomato boxes. That is because we are cleaned out. So we have finished harvesting our greenhouse tomatoes for the final time last week. And I have a few of them on Worthington and Clintonville, but even half of those tomatoes are field tomatoes. We are exclusively harvesting only field tomatoes now. And they weren't really ripe yet. We picked them a little bit on the light side. They needed a week to ripen, but I was out of tomatoes. So Powell and Dublin have half-turned tomatoes, but that's all I have. Some people don't mind buying those because they'll last them throughout the week or even into next week. And I will have no tomatoes on that trailer, unfortunately. I am cleaned out completely, sold out. But we're gonna have a good harvest next week. Next Tuesday when we pick tomatoes in the fields, we should have an excellent harvest. I purchased about 20 boxes from the auction. That is all I could get for this trailer. So just enough to get me through today. And then Monday, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. If we have any leftovers on these trucks, and maybe we'll go pick some, that's all we're gonna have for Monday on the trailer. All right, one quick peek in the cooler, and then I gotta get busy. It's already 4 o'clock almost, and Emma will be here in an hour and a half to head to Columbus to set up her farmer's market stand, and that time is gonna slip away quickly. So the very first thing I do is roll out Joel's salsa. He puts it right here so I don't forget it. Plus there's no room to put it back there. He keeps all his salsa back there in that little corner. Now you can see we're pretty jam-packed in here right now. We got about 650 dozen ears of corn to roll out of here. There's what we picked yesterday. It's about 550. And there's what we picked the day before. Looks like about 3 skids. There's our skid of green beans. I'm only gonna be loading about 3/4 of those. And then just some random things that don't get sold this week. They were picked on Wednesday and Friday. I'm gonna have to move those out of the way, out of the cooler, get all the corn and beans out, and then I'll put these items back. Those melons were picked on Friday, yesterday, and those were picked the day before. So they will remain on here until next week. It keeps them fresh for at least a week in here. All right, it is time to get rolling. I got a big morning ahead of me. I'm gonna put the salsa right here. That way it doesn't get in the way of loading the Worthington truck or the Clintonville or the POW. It's kind of in between here. And just so I don't forget, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Worthington cooler on the corner of the truck. These are tokens. Produce perks and Worthington tokens and gift certificates that the market hands out. I've accumulated them for a couple weeks, $447 worth. So Emma will turn these into the market booth so I can get reimbursed. Let's go ahead and give her her money box. Worthington. Here's our 2 credit card machines. All right, let's get some corn up here. All right, I think I can leave this in here. I'm just gonna move it over a little bit. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the jalapenos. Look at these beauties. They're massive. Wow. Those things really came on strong. So I'll give a bucket of jalapenos to every truck. Not so much the banana peppers. We only got 1 tub, or basket. I think I can just move this one over as well and not have to take it out of the cooler. So I'll get some of this corn out of the road. Worthington needs 55 tubs. And then I can move these out of the way over here and I can get to the green beans. I need a bigger cooler. I'm not willing to put the investment into a bigger cooler. I'm just gonna redo the ceiling. I'm gonna remove the ceiling this winter and re-insulate it and put a new ceiling on. I have some beams sagging up there. For some reason, condensation is forming along the center beam, probably because the insulation is bad. Joel brought his thermal camera in here, and there's a lot of hot spots right along that seam, that conduit. I'm gonna put in spray foam this time instead of fiberglass bats. All right, we're just gonna put this partial skid over here out of the way because she needs 3 full skids minus 1 stack. And we'll put this one on one of the other smaller trucks. Guys, this is my first time wearing the GoPro chest harness. Usually I'm walking around carrying the camera in my hand or having someone else hold it if I'm explaining something or harvesting something I want to talk about in detail. So you'll have to let me know how you like this. I know some of you will find this very boring, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to edit and trim some of this down, but some of you really will enjoy all of this real life footage. Point of view footage, I guess you call it. So we're gonna try it out today. I'm just gonna let this thing roll. This stack looks like it's leaning a little bit. Some of the bottoms of these tubs have been worn away from sliding them on asphalt over the years, so they don't set straight. They have a little hole down here where they latch in, and that's why it's leaning, but it's still locked in pretty good. The last thing I want is a stack of corn to fall over on me while I'm forking it out to the trucks. And it usually happens once a year, and it slows me down 5 or 10 minutes. And it's not fun picking up a stack of corn. But so far, I have not had any problems this year. All right, one more stack, and we'll get this corn in the truck. You know, having an employee here rolling this corn out for me would be a little bit helpful. It would save me some time and I could start forking it right away. Having a helper up in the truck sliding the corn in is not helpful. It actually slows me down. I actually had someone help me do that a couple times. About, if you're wondering what this is, it's just trash. It's boxes of tomatoes that had a rotten spot on them and they have to be burned. So we burned some of our cardboard and veggie trash gets thrown in the field. So I had an employee up there helping me. At the time I was about 37, 39. He was 44 and he was into bodybuilding. Very fit, strong, quick moving dude. And I thought, who better to help me up there push corn in? But I kid you not, it slowed me down. It takes some experience to know how to grab these tubs and to use the core of your body to slide that heavy stack of corn off of a pallet into the back of a truck. It's not as simple as you think. These things are heavy and I've got it down to a science. I know exactly where to grab. I know how to wiggle it and I know how to use my body to push them into trucks. I am very, very fast. So I can hop off my forklift and push this corn in a truck in a matter of minutes. All right, Worthington gets these 3 skids minus 1 stack, so 55 crates. We'll shut this door for about 5 or 10 minutes while I push this corn in. And this is the Worthington clipboard. They're getting 55 tubs of corn. Last week I gave them 60 because the week before they sold out, but she brought back 13 tubs. But I'm hopeful for a good day today. If she doesn't sell the 55, next week she'll get back off the 50. The week after that, maybe only 45. And then the Labor Day weekend will probably be a big day of about 50, 55, I'm guessing. But you know, people are starting to get their fill of sweet corn this time of year, so sales are gonna slowly start sliding. Green beans, I'm gonna give her 15 crates today because we have a bunch. She's getting 130 cantaloupe, 65 watermelon, 3 tubs of bell peppers, 3 tubs of eggplant, 6 tubs of zucchini, 3 tubs of cucumbers, and then there's Joel's salsa. 3 different kinds of salsa there. I only had 30 boxes of tomatoes for her, 4 boxes of yellow tomatoes, 1 box of Romas, and 8 flats of grapes. That's everything from Worthington, and if she sold out, she would make about $6 grand. This is where a little bit of finesse comes into play, driving this forklift. You gotta be very gentle. Very slow, deliberate turns. Can't rock any of that corn or it will fall. But it usually stays pretty stable. All right, what I look for when I'm pulling this skid up here is I want to come right up to this metal plate on this truck. So it's an easy slide off. All right, I know you probably can't see in here and I don't have time to put my light on or bring it out here. The light would just flop around if I put it on top of the GoPro. So I just took off the tarp. Here's all of our zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, and eggplant. Nice and fresh. And ready to go. If I tried to load all these items this morning, I would never have time. Unless I was only doing 1 or 2 trucks, maybe 3, but not 4 trucks and 2 trailers. This is where it would be good to have someone holding the camera with a light, a big bright light that I can put on my GoPro to watch how I slide these in. So I'm gonna start with this one right here. I get it off the pallet, then I come around the other side. All right, 2 more skids to go. All right, here's the pallet I'm gonna put on top of the watermelon. I'm just giving her some small ones today. Those are probably 60 count. You know, there's a couple really small ones and some ugly ones from cucumber damage. I'll tell her to sell those very last at a discounted price. But most of them will look like this. We'll put $5 on them. Try to move them out. Make sure it's good and centered so it slides up tight against the wall. Doesn't waste space. All right, let's go get our green beans. We need 15 bushels of green beans on that pallet. It's already 4:30, guys. Man, when I sit down and talk on camera, time just slips away quick. All right, I gotta move those 2 skids so I can get to the green beans. These are bell peppers that will be sold throughout the week, next week. So we're gonna push them right back here in this corner where they will remain all week. And this is yesterday's zucchini and cucumber harvest. Most of this will probably not be sold until next Saturday. I don't like to quite hold it that long, but I'm gonna have to. I'll show you why here in a second. Because this is Wednesday's cucumber harvest. Look at these beauties. 10 or 12 tubs here. I'm gonna struggle getting rid of all these cucumbers before they go bad. All right, now I can get to the green beans. You can see it barely fits through the door. I built this door to fit 6 corn crates high or 7 bean crates high. So 49 on that skid, minus 1 up there that we sold yesterday. We're getting close to getting Worthington finished up. So this will only take a couple minutes, and then we'll fork those 2 bins of melons onto her truck. Hopefully it fits. You know, I need 8 feet for these 2 skids to fit on there. Sometimes I get a tape measure and I'll measure this. You know, I gotta make sure they fit. Don't go any further than this so the door can shut. It'll be tight, that's for sure. It'll be 2 layers plus 1. I know what some of you are thinking. Any kid or adult could be helping me do this. And you're right. However, it's not always easy finding help that wants to be out here at 4 a.m. And when I'm packing those trailers, someone out here would just get in my way. Because I gotta know what day's produce goes on those trailers. Am I gonna sell yesterday's pick, Wednesday's pick, or Monday's pick? Sometimes they get a combination of both. Same with these trucks. If I had to tell everybody, hey, you're getting the pallet from there, 2 tubs from there, 2 tubs from there, and then get it rolled out, I mean, it is a big hassle. Trying to work with somebody that doesn't know where everything is and which each truck gets. I got this down to a science. Probably sounds like I'm trying to defend myself. I don't mean it to come across that way. I'm just trying to explain the reality of this, because not everybody understands. And it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not complaining. This is the path I've chosen, and this is how I've chosen to do it, and it works just fine for me. But I'm ready for it to be just a little bit easier in the future. 25 years of doing this. Starts becoming a grind this time of year, that's for sure. I'm ready to get through August. August is a killer. We make a ton of money in August, and we have to, you know, to pay all of our debts down and slug away some money for the winter and retirement. The farm has been good to me. It's afforded me a good living, be able to raise my 3 kids and build up a decent retirement. There'll be a lot more talking about that in the off season, guys. By the way, I hope you can hear me well. You know, I have the media mod on the GoPro, but I don't have my lav mic. It would just be a big hassle trying to have the lav mic on here doing the chest harness thing. So I think this probably sounds okay, but it does pick up the ambient noises around me a lot more not having the lav mic. Like an air conditioner, semis going by, trains, you know, you'll hear all that stuff throughout the morning. All right, we got our 14 on there plus 1. Let's get these out of the way. Actually, I'll probably roll these back in the cooler because I don't need them for at least another half hour. I'm gonna finish loading corn on all these trucks first, and then we'll get the beans back out. I am a little worried that we're gonna be a little tight. Let's make sure we got 8 feet. I'm pretty sure we have 8.5 feet. Nice, we do. Exactly 8 foot 6 inches. Beautiful. There's nothing worse than having to finagle all that around again. I'm usually a pretty good judge of how much room I need, and I judged right today, fortunately. By the way, if you missed the last video, it may have been 2 videos ago, but either the prior one to this video or 2 videos back, you can see the harvest of these green beans. It was our biggest harvest of 2025. We harvested about 59 bushels of beautiful green beans. So we are set for this week. And we've gotten some nice wholesale orders of people wanting to can and freeze beans. So hopefully that'll help us move all 60 this week. 45 is usually all I need. So if I can't move some bulk, we're gonna get stuck with a dozen of them next week, because we have another huge patch coming. This is gonna add some serious weight to the back of the box truck. I think it's pretty balanced right now, but now it's gonna be a little bit back and left heavy. Nothing I can really do about it though. We've done it this way for years. It works just fine. So I'm gonna set that down, back up a little bit, get another bite on it, and side shift it all the way up against the cab or the box of the truck. Okay, it's all the way to the left. One more little bite. Keeping it all the way tight to the left. Okay, now we're ready for the cantaloupe. Worthington is getting the medium cantaloupe instead of jumbos. That way I can give them more, because they almost sold 2 skids last week. All righty, let's push her on in. I gotta be careful not to hit the corn tubs. I don't want to lock in the corn tubs so tight that she can't move them. But remember, we had 6 inches of space, so we're gonna split the difference. Let's check that out. Okay, I can see that I'm barely in far enough. I wanna push it in 1 more inch. And we got about, I know you can't see anything, but we got about 4 inches back here. We're good. There we go. I'm starting to get a little oil leak, guys. See these little spatters of oil? That is not good. I got some kind of seal going out on this thing, I think. Sometimes it won't leak at all, and sometimes it'll give me a couple little drips like this every time I shut it off. Very strange. And oil levels are good. I just checked it a couple days ago and it was right at the full line, so I'm not losing oil, but I want to have my mechanic take a look at this, make sure it's nothing serious getting ready to happen. All right, let's take a look here. 1 inch to spare for the door. All right, I am done with the Worthington truck. I made her one new price card. Seedless watermelon, $5 each. Very sweet. I'm not the most creative marketing genius. I think I write fairly nice, and I don't want to make the sign too cluttered. Just simple and basic with maybe a little adjective to entice people. We're gonna put that right there. Oh, let me grab my light. And here's my light, by the way. It's an LED light, that's on dim. This was a gift from a subscriber, believe it or not. But it actually slides right on top of my GoPro. And watch how bright I can turn this thing up. It's pretty amazing. I'm gonna jump up in there and show you exactly everything Worthington is taking. I mean, you probably got a pretty good idea already. I already talked about it, but this is the finished product. So when she gets there, she'll take out these items first. You know, our tote with all of our market goodies in there, and she'll remove the syrup and grape tomatoes and salsa. The salsa is gonna slide right back in here. There we go. And now the door will shut. She has some canning tomatoes and grape tomatoes she'll get out of the way with that tote and syrup and empty tubs. These empty tubs are for displaying our cantaloupes and watermelons. So she'll get all that out of the way and she can get to the bag racks and the tents. And then that will allow her to get to the tables back there. And then she'll start sliding out all the other veggies that are not corn and beans. So she'll be there by herself for a half hour to get the infrastructure set up, tents and tables and tablecloths. And then at 7 a.m., 2 workers will arrive to help her start getting out all of these other items and making up quart baskets of beans. That's a lot of work. They will pre-make putting beans into quart baskets, 1 pound quart baskets for sale, with probably 6 to 8 of those even before the market starts at 8 a.m. And then at 8 a.m., a 4th person will arrive to help with sales. All right, we're ready to close this bad boy up. Perfect. And it is ready to go for Emma. I'll leave that right there to go over a few things with her. And now we're ready for sweet corn on these 3 trucks. We'll get all the sweet corn done on all 3, and then I'll bring out beans and melons just like I did on that one. All right, folks, I'll bring you back at daylight when I start working on these trailers so you can see better. Because everything I'm getting ready to do right now is just repeating the same process I did on that big box truck. That one's a 16-footer, by the way. The others are 14-footers. I got all of those box trucks. I got 4 of these 14-footers with the rail gate. I got these from a place in Gainesville, Georgia that was taking in fleet trucks from Aaron's Rental. So every 5 years, Aaron's Rental trades off all their trucks for new updated trucks. So I got a whole, not a whole fleet, but I mean, I bought 5 of them at the same time. There's the 5th one. It's already loaded with cantaloupes and watermelons for the Logan County market, and I'll be taking you with me up there to unload that truck for the market. It'll be daylight when we're packing this one, and I'll definitely have the camera on for that and tell you a little bit more about that. So I got a pretty good deal on all these trucks. I think I paid $14,500 each over 12 years ago. This one I picked up in Nashville, Tennessee. So I flew down, drove it home. I flew down 4 of my buddies and my wife for these other 4 trucks. Well, 3 of my buddies, and we drove them all home all together. That was a fun trip. Oh, if you were curious about how long it took me to finish this truck, it is 4:55 a.m., so I spent a good hour on it. But that obviously included filming, which slows me down just a little bit. Now I'm just loading the rest of the money boxes. Powell. Dublin. By the way, Dublin made me think of my son Gavin. He is in Ireland right now. Actually, he just finished his week-and-a-half trip in Ireland. I think he's going to Scotland now, I'm not sure. I haven't heard from him in 2 days. But I will definitely interview Gavin when he returns home from his 30-day European trip and ask him how it went. And let's see, we got Logan County. I'm just gonna set it right there for now. And the Marysville mobile produce trailer, our satellite location. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get that salsa out of the way, load corn on the rest of these trucks, and I'll bring you back in a little while. Break time. A juicy Ohio peach. Contender is the variety. Perfect snack here at 5:15 a.m. I got all the corn on a Clintonville truck. Get ready to throw the beans on and our bin of melons, and that truck will be done. It doesn't leave till 6:30, so I'm making good time. Just wrapping up this Clintonville truck, and I wanted to show you how I do this with the rail gates. I put the rail gate all the way down. Now I can drive onto the gate and get this bin of melons in the back of the truck. Otherwise, I'd have to have a pallet jack up there, and there's no room to turn a pallet jack around in a full box truck. See, the forklift rides right up on top of that lift gate, no problem. Up and to the left, get it nice and snug. All right, let's see what the finished truck looks like here. Looks good. I actually have a little bit of room. All right, there goes Emma. Off to Worthington Farmers Market. One down, many to go, but I'm making good time. I got these two completely done. I'm gonna pull them out of the barn. That way I can back up that green and white trailer and get started on it. And I'm just about done with the Dublin truck. So Clintonville leaves at 6:30. Pal doesn't leave till 7. Maybe though, actually she's gonna be here at like 6:50, I think. And Dublin leaves at 6:45. So yeah, these will all be leaving almost at the same time. And I just gotta throw this little bit of corn and beans on the Dublin truck, and then their bin of cantaloupes. And all the box trucks will be done. And we're making good time. It's only 5:40 a.m. It is now 6:15, and I'm ready to work on this trailer. And got a lot of things to put on here, but no tomatoes. I'm pretty sad that we don't have tomatoes on here today. We could probably sell almost 20 boxes, almost 200 pounds at $2.95 a pound. So that's a good chunk of change, but it is what it is. I got 14 tubs of corn out right now that I want to try to fit back here. I know I can get at least 10 or 12 here. And then since I don't have tomatoes, I'm going to fill this entire side with corn as well. And then whatever I can't get on this trailer of the 24 tubs, I will put on the box truck out there that has the cantaloupes and watermelon on it. All right, I'll get the rest of this filled up and I'll be back in a little bit as we start filling in the rest of the items. You know, even though this is hard work and I gotta get up really early, there's definitely some satisfaction getting all this done before the daylight. Look at that nice orange glow getting ready to come up. It is going to be a gorgeous Saturday morning. I bet it's gonna be a clear blue sky, mid-80s. A perfect August farmers market day. I got 12 tubs back here. Got to get 12 more on here. I think I'll put these 2 here, and then I'll go get some more out of the cooler. There goes Dublin. Clintonville is up here. They just left about 5 minutes ago. So Joel and Elijah's driving. They are heading to Dublin. And Paige will be here any minute to go to Powell. She's meeting her friend Hope at the market. Right now, I am pressed for time to get this trailer done. I'm getting close. It is 6:40 43. Nikki will be here in 15 minutes, so I need to get this wrapped up, pull it out of the way, and get this trailer started because I have to go up to the Logan County Farmers Market, which is just down the road 4 miles, with this truck here with all the melons, get it unloaded, come back, and then have this one finished and ready to go by 8 o'clock. So I'd like to get a start on this before Nikki gets here to leave for the market at 7. It's a crazy, crazy morning, folks. We got some big zucchini for the Logan market today. That's all right. People love this big stuff. These little ones are nice. That's the right size right there. This trailer definitely seems a bit bare, not having that colorful red display of tomatoes right here. Nothing I can do about it. She needs a new roll of bags there. This truck's done. Jalapenos, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, green beans, sweet corn, eggplant, more sweet corn. Those 6 tubs, maybe even 8, will be dumped on this table once we get to market and fold that table down. But that is all her corn she needs. That's 24 tubs. There's a few underneath the shelf. All right, let's get it out of the road here and get going on this one. Get her strapped in here, or buckled in. Got some tears here. I never fixed it, but it's doing just fine since it only goes down the road a couple miles. I think something must have scraped that in the barn during the winter time. That looks like you know, something went by and scraped it and ripped it. I'm worn out. You can hear me huffing and puffing probably. This is a workout. Oh, I gotta get that roll of bags on there. All right, final trailer, folks. Let's get her opened up. See what all we need on here. The veggies need thrown on, peaches, and sweet corn. This is rush, rush, rush all morning long. It is high pressure, and it is very physically demanding. It's what keeps me in shape. Just trying to catch my breath here for a moment. All right, I gotta put those 2 stacks of tomatoes under the shelf. Get the corn rolled out first and the peaches, and then we'll work on the veggies. Slide these into the nose of the trailer. All right, let's go get our corn. We need 20 tubs on here. I'm gonna put this partial away, and this is all I will have left over. So if Logan County has a really good day and needs more, I can run that up. So we overpicked by 10 tubs. Not bad. Hey, Paige. All right, I got all the corn up on the shelf that needs to go underneath. All right, I'm gonna get this finished up, then we'll go get the peaches. Just finished up sweet corn on the trailer, bringing out the 5 boxes of peaches. These are grown by our friends about 30 miles down the road in Mutual, Ohio, near Urbana, just north of Springfield and Dayton. And the variety they're picking now is Contender, a very popular, delicious variety of peach. They are freestone, also known as cling free. The flesh comes away from the stone, the pit, so they're easy to freeze and can. We're gonna put 4 up here on display. Oh, if I can squeeze it in there. All right, there's our 4 boxes for display. And we'll give her a 5th one, put down inside the trailer. And I almost have this trailer ready to go. I just gotta bring out the small veggies. That'll take me 10 minutes. But first, I gotta go up to the market to unload those melons for Nikki. So let's go do that now. Guys, let me know in the comments if you enjoy this point of view video. Maybe a mix would be nice. Some where I'm actually facing the camera and talking to it and explaining things, or setting it up off at a distance and filming what I'm doing. But I don't have time to do that on Saturday mornings. That's why I wanted to try this version. So I'm interested to know what you think. Definitely leave me a comment on whether you liked it, didn't like it, or like it a little bit, and would like to see more of point of view type filming out in the fields. I'm definitely gonna start using this chest harness more out there harvesting. I think that'll give a nice perspective. All right, get this side buckled up. We're almost done with this huge morning of packing. It is 7 o'clock sharp. So I got an hour to finish up this trailer and unload melons at the market. And I'm the one driving this trailer to market. So normally someone leaves from the farm with this trailer, but unfortunately I'm short-staffed today. So yours truly is taking this to Marysville, 25 miles down the road, and getting it set up for Aubrey. Aubrey has been working for me every summer all through high school, and she has graduated, getting ready to go to college. She'll be running it by herself today, but I'm gonna help her get all set up and stocked up real good. Make sure there's nothing left in the back of the truck. See, look back here. She just had ACL surgery or some kind of surgery on her knee, so I don't want her to have to mess with getting that out. So I'll help her get set up. She can put the tomato display out right here on this table. I'll get all the melons out and make sure they're easily accessible for her to put on display. And she said she's confident that she can run it by herself even with her bum knee. She says it's healing nicely. All right, let's get up to market. There's one of those noisy trains I was telling you about. Quarter mile away. I swear they get louder every year. All right, here we go. Down the road 4 miles to the Logan County Farmers Market to unload melons. And I need a new wiper blade. That is terrible. Oh gosh, can hardly see. All right, entering the Logan County Farmers Market. It is 7:20 a.m., folks. I got plenty of time, but it is still gonna slip away quickly. So there's our stand. She's already unhooked. It's an easy setup for her today because there's no tomatoes. So I'm gonna pull up right here beside her to unload these melons. So I put the lift gate up all the way. We'll push the bin of melons out onto it, lower it down, and roll it into place. It's a little tricky, but it works just fine if you're careful. Hopefully I don't have to put those back in there at the end of the day. It's definitely harder loading them back up because it's hard to get up that little lip there. I think we'll put the watermelon here, a cantaloupe right beside it, and then we'll put a second cantaloupe over here next to our little corn table, maybe right there. Front and center so everybody sees it walking down the middle of the market. We still have an hour before this market starts, so plenty of time. Some folks will start trickling in around 8 o'clock. my work is done here. Sweet and juicy cantaloupe, $4. Seedless watermelon. You know, we do have a few ugly ones in here. Man, I should almost take that one out. That one's really bad. There's some really nice ones in there though too. Just give you a look at what it looks like here. No tomatoes. So we got this huge blank spot on this trailer, unfortunately. Doggone it. And we'll have salsa and relish and maple syrup on this table. All right, back to the farm to finish up the trailer. All right, see you, Nikki. Have a good day.
You too.
Back at the farm, it is 7:45. I got 15 minutes to get this trailer finished up. Shouldn't take long, just gotta throw on these 5 items here. And I might go pick a few more green tomatoes if I have time. All right, I finally got everything prepped to finish up this trailer. And I'm gonna get a box of extras too, because these crates won't quite last the entire market. Keeps fogging up. I was in the cooler too long, so my lens keeps fogging up. Yellow squash is done. I need to change that sign. We do not have yellow squash any longer. Oh boy, that's heavy. I'm not gonna leave it that full. Some of those will spill off while I'm driving. Maybe I'll just put some of them over here for the drive there, and then we'll pile it back up when we arrive. All right, I just need one little box of extras of some of these things, and we're ready to roll. I am finished in the cooler for now. I'll probably organize a few things in there when I get back. Turn all the lights off. Got my box of extras here. Zucchini, cucumbers, and peppers. She's already got some extra green beans on the trailer. Whew, we're running out of space in here to walk. My goodness. Better set it on the ground here. All right, she is packed to the max and ready to roll. Looking good. 7:56. I got 5 minutes to go inside and get a cup of coffee for the road. I had just enough time to grab a box of green tomatoes. Got me a mug of coffee for the road. Let's roll. I forgot to say goodbye to my dog. We're gonna take 1 extra minute to go say goodbye to my dog. Can you see her in there? That's Tassie. Hi, Tassie. She still has some cream on her beard for my coffee. All right, let's get moving. I'm about 30 minutes late now. Oh, another farm mascot. This is Kipper. Well, good morning, Kipper. You catching some mice today? All right, I just arrived. Let's get this trailer unhooked, opened up, and get started. All right, we're all unhooked. I put this cone right here so customers don't walk into the hitch and bang up their shins while they're looking at the produce. It's happened a lot over the years. So I used to have a different table here that was wider. It was a homemade table, and it was so wide it came all the way out here, and we didn't need that, but now we're using this plastic, you know, lifetime table. I like it a lot better, but it's not wide enough to keep people from walking into the hitch. All right, this is Aubrey. Aubrey, how long have you been helping me? At least 4 summers.
4 years, yeah.
Just 3?
4.
4, okay. And you're out of school now, heading off to college?
Yep.
Awesome.
Started freshman year.
And where are you going? I know you've told me, but I forget.
Cincinnati.
Oh, you're going to Cincinnati. Awesome. So right now, Aubrey is, well, tell us about your leg. You just had what kind of surgery?
ACL surgery.
Oh my gosh. So you injured it doing what?
Playing lacrosse.
Lacrosse. So Aubrey's a big lacrosse player all through high school. Are you going to try to do it in college too?
I was going to, but we'll see.
Okay. So still healing up. So right now she is dumping our starter corn on our table. And I'm going to help her get some of these tomatoes put out, put some relish out, and we have our first customer here already. And then I will move the truck out of the way and unload all these melons for her. Let's go ahead and get our banner put up.
I just wore my ACL.
Let's go ahead and get this corn thing finished up. So we're going to start with 6 tubs of corn on there. Let's put these little boards down as our chalk blocks so this trailer doesn't rock and roll. All right, we're just getting some tomatoes out here on display. Oh, there's a bad one. I want to throw that out. Got some beautiful looking blackberries here from Champagne Berry Farm. Is this the sign? Nope, that's the Scratch and Dent peaches. So our sign got taken down. Allie probably took it down. We'll just have to find out where that's at. But we only have a flat and a couple today, so those will not last long. Peaches look really nice. They're a little firm, but they are really sweet and juicy once they ripen. All right, I'm gonna get these tomatoes finished up, get some relish out, and then we'll work on these melons next. All of our extra melons are out, so customers can pick them up out of here, or it'd be easily put onto the trailer for Aubrey when she's busy. We'll get some more tomatoes out on this table as soon as we get a chance here. I like to have a nice double layer all the way across.
Oh yeah, it's only stuff.
Aubrey's checking out these folks right now. Had a credit card sale. Some sweet corn, watermelon.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope you heal well. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a bummer, I know.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
You guys have a good day.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
We are just about completely set up. Put some more tomatoes out, maybe dump a couple more tubs of corn for her, and then I'm heading home to take a little break. I was just thinking how nice it'd be to have a little bit of music playing during this. If it wasn't for all the traffic noise, it would be dead silent out here. Nice to see that we're getting some business here. So for those of you who may be new to my channel, this is called 5 Points Intersection. 5 roads merge right here. It's one of the busiest places in all of Marysville. Down here at Coleman's Crossing, before you get to the freeway, that's another busy intersection, and it goes over to Walmart and Home Depot and Honda and a whole bunch of restaurants and that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, Ida's Italian Ice, which is this building up here, has been sold to the city. It's going to be tore down, and they're going to be building a giant roundabout right here to help with the traffic flow. So this is my final year here. Very unfortunate because we do really well here. We've been setting up here for close to a decade. And before that, this Sheetz used to be a Rite Aid pharmacy. And we used to set up right there. There's a parking lot area right there. We did really well. We set up there for probably 7 years until Rite Aid closed down and they put a Sheetz here. Fortunately, this spot opened up over here. It used to be a small car dealership. They have expanded and moved down the road a little bit. And the owners of the car lot also own Ida's Italian Ice. And we rent space from them here in this parking lot. You can see we're getting some decent business here at 9 o'clock in the morning. But in a couple hours, this will be non-stop backed up traffic. Just unbelievably busy. So busy that I think it's actually hurting our business because it's so hard for people to get into this parking lot because of how much traffic there is all around us. All right, my work is done here. Aubrey, have a good day.
Thanks.
I will see you at 2 p.m. Boy, was that a busy morning, and it sure feels nice to be sitting in this truck in the air conditioning, knowing that my morning's pretty much done. I can finally relax. I'm gonna head home and enjoy some air conditioning for a couple hours, maybe do a little bit of editing. And at about 11:45, I'll have to hop back in that box truck and go up to the local county market to pick up those bins of melons and my pallet jack. Then I'll grab a quick bite to eat for lunch, and right after that, trucks will start arriving home from Columbus about 1 p.m. I'll get them all unloaded, then I'll have to hop right back in this truck and head back to Marysville to pick up the trailer at about 1:30 to 1:45 p.m. I'll get it hauled home, get it unloaded, and it'll probably be pretty close to 3 p.m. before my day is over. So got a long road ahead of me yet, but at least the worst of it's done. Well, that morning slipped away quickly. It's 10 till noon. Time to go pick up the melon bins. It is getting hot. Feels like we're close to 90 degrees. Not much of a breeze and pretty humid. Typical dog days of August. So I haven't heard from Nikki how the market was going since 10 o'clock. And she said it was a little bit slow. So it's always a little bit of a surprise on what to expect when I get to the market to load things up. I'm very hopeful that she did well, but I have a feeling there's going to be some stuff to bring back on this one. Now, the Columbus markets are all doing amazing. I've gotten updates from everybody at the halfway point and the 2/3 point through the market, and everybody was killing it. Just as good as last week, if not better. All right, let's go see how we did today. Hey, looks like you did all right.
Yeah, it just felt like it wasn't busy because I don't
Yeah.
have tomatoes.
Oh, okay, yeah, not having tomatoes probably made it feel
I
slower.
don't think anybody had tomatoes here.
Wow.
Big ones. Like,
Yeah. This bin of cantaloupe's empty, that's good.
Yeah.
Only
Well, I moved them over.
7. Oh, okay, we still got almost a full bin over here. Well, shoot. Well, we'll probably just start bringing 1 bin to this market from now on.
Kids started soccer today. All
Yeah.
the soccer
Oh, yeah.
games started.
Soccer season, school season is up on us. All right, let's get these bins in the truck. We'll put the 2 empty ones in first, and then I'll put the full cantaloupe bin in last. So to get up over this little lip, you got to jack it up pretty high. Come in at an angle. Then we'll pull it in the truck, make a U-turn. Get it up in the nose, out of the way. There's the bell going off. High noon. All right, I'm gonna load the rest of these up and we'll get back to the farm. All right, we got our cantaloupes in the truck. I'm gonna go help Nikki finish packing up the table and get her hooked up. All right, hooked up and ready to go. Back to the barn we go. My gosh, I'm drenched in sweat just working for 10 minutes. Whew. So it looks like we only sold half of our peppers, cucumbers, and zucchini. So those are definitely down a little bit today. Beans did good, sold 2.5 bushels. And we got 1, 2, 3 corn left, not bad. Eggplant did not move worth a darn today. My goodness, 1 eggplant. That's why I didn't grow it for several years, because we just don't sell a lot. Yeah, Columbus. Marysville only sells a handful.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. All right, let's get this in the cooler and we'll come back and get the corn. All right, I got everything in here that came back from the Logan County market. 3 tubs of corn, half a pepper there, and a full pepper down there. Peppers did absolutely terrible, just like eggplant. And we only sold 1 tub each of zucchini and cucumbers. And like I said, the beans did decent. So overall, not too bad. I wish there wasn't that extra bin of melons left I gotta get out, because I do not think they're gonna hold. But I will go ahead and bring them in and put them right here, and we'll look at them Monday to see how they look. And if they look halfway decent, I can probably move them on the trailer, at least for 1 more day, then we'll have to throw some out. All right, let's get this melon bin out of here. So I'm just gonna push it out to the edge of the lift gate right here, and then I can fork it off. Then we'll get the truck and trailer out of here and that truck, and we'll be ready for the Columbus markets to start returning home here in about 40 minutes. I'll get these put in the cooler, and then I'll get those 2 empty bins out of there. One of them had those 5 or 6 watermelons in it. So I'm looking at these. See how it's starting to get a little sunken spot on the rind? A little bit of that overripe look. But a lot of them look really good. There's a bad one. A soft spot. But if most of these look good on Monday, I can probably sell 2/3 of those in one day on the trailer. Usually sell 50 or 60 a day. Well, I don't know. Now that things are starting to slow down a little bit, probably just 45 a day. And there's probably 65 in this bin, I'm guessing. It's 10 after 1 and our first truck is home from Columbus. It's Emma from the Old Worthington Farmers Market. She leaves first and she gets home first. It's almost like waiting for opening Christmas gifts. I can't wait to get my hands on that truck and see how she did. Yes, I know we have a backup light out, but it doesn't really matter. We don't ever do any backing with this truck except to get into the barn. All right, the moment of truth. What's it gonna look like? Nicely stacked. The tables are leaning. They didn't get strapped in, but at least there were some things holding them in place.
Did they fall over?
No, it looks good. The tables aren't bungeed in, but there's nothing.
Oh.
There's nothing they know where they can go.
Damn, I put them in then. I was like, oh no.
All the tomato boxes are leaning, but looks like they're all empty.
They're empty ones.
Yeah. Is the watermelons gone, basically?
There's like 2 or 3.
Nice.
There's not that many candles.
Yeah, good. We got a little piece that fell off the tent. These darn ABC tents, even though these are lock nuts, every time you open and close them, it works loose. So I'm gonna get some Loctite to put on these things. Maybe that'll help. All right, let's start unloading. We're gonna use our trusty chain puller to get this next bin out. We could probably get it by hand, but this works really good. If you set that down inside right on the bottom, and it'll hook into the bottom plate, or just a big block. You might just hook into the big block in the middle. Dublin's the next truck home. And Clintonville. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be madness. Can't believe you guys got home second.
Half the chubby stuff.
Huh. We're gonna put all the watermelons over here. Everybody put your gates all the way down. I'll get the melons out first thing. Put your gate all the way down so I can get the melons out. one. You want to just wait until we get one of the trucks done in the barn?
That's totally fine.
Okay. This is the chaos that ensues when all 4 trucks arrive home at the same time. Are you ready for a pallet?
Eggplant one looks crazy today.
Wow. That's awesome. I'll just sort all this out when we get in the cooler.
I got to double up.
Okay. I'll spread it all around. It's upside down. I don't want to spill.
Sold all 4.
Nice.
I had to make half.
Yeah, I figured they wouldn't.
Yeah, so
Oh, I need another pallet. Still tastes good?
yeah, oh, yeah, I was good.
Good. All right. I don't even know where to start here. Yeah, get the rest of your produce and I'll move this out of the way and I'll bring a skid over for you.
Big juicy peach. Oh man, good.
All right, Emma's got 4 tubs of corn.
Where do you want my corn?
Did you have any more corn than this? No. Okay. I'm gonna take this over to the Clintonville truck.
I got it already.
I'm gonna have what's that? Yeah. She's gonna slide the corn out and we'll just put it on this pallet here. Hey, we got 1 truck done. Still working on the other 3. Emma's truck's got a ton of empties. 50 some tubs of empty corn. Here, let me scoot this out a little bit so we can get this thing stacked right. It's a big helter-skelter mess.
You just want grapes right here.
Yeah, there was one, I just don't want to bury a partial. All right, I'll bring a skid over for all your empties. Whew. All right, we're gonna work on getting Emma's empties out of here.
I have 2 more stacks after that.
Okay, let me just get this little one off of here. What'd you have left on beans? Just that 1 parcel? Nice. I'm glad I gave you 15. Oh, didn't go high enough. stack all these together. We want them high, like 20 tubs high. We don't have space to leave small stacks up here like this. Hey, you want me to get that melon bin out of there? Put your gate down, I'll grab it. Is the watermelon a hit?
Yeah, we still have some in there, but I felt like we sold at least half that
All right. We're getting close to the end here, folks. Let's get the corn out of here, out of the sun. Do you have some corn?
They're right there, just 3.
Okay. We good? Okay. Yep. Alrighty. Celia, does Natalie have you on a schedule for next week, or you do again? Okay. You're good with that? Okay. Okay. I'll touch base with you at the end of the week. Thanks. Yep, that's fine. All right, we are finally done. There's some leftover corn from Joel's truck he's gonna use at a church cookout. I was gonna throw it out anyway because I think that was picked on Thursday. I'm not gonna keep that. This corn was just picked yesterday. This is what we have left from like 650 dozen, not bad. 8, 9, 10 tubs. Going back in the cooler for Monday. I think it'll be just fine. Well, we still have our trailer coming home, and you know, she might have 4 or 5 tubs, who knows. Oh, about took out your salsa. Whew, man, alive, is it hot. So one thing I do with the extra beans that got brought home is I open them up, get them aired out right away. You know, look at all the condensation on them. And they're getting warm. So these will have to be moved at least Monday or Tuesday. By Wednesday, they'll start getting soft and limp and won't be fit. So Clintonville brought home these 2 and this one, so 2.5. I gave them 7, so their sales were down just a little bit. They usually sell 6. That's not bad though, for like 30 some bushels. We only brought home 4.5, 5.5. All right, we got some partials here of everything. I'm gonna divvy up, put them back on top of the skids they belong on. Some cucumbers, zucchini, eggplant. And this stuff will all be good for a couple days next week. Okay, I think I got everything sorted in here. It needs to be done until the trailer gets home. Well, until I bring the trailer home. Since I'm the one picking it up, I need to get moving here. I forgot about Aubrey and Marysville. Oh no, I gotta hit the road. It's 1:44. Shoot.
Pick up trailer.
Yeah. Man, I completely forgot all about the Marysville trailer. Won't have to worry about all these cantaloupes when we get back. Watermelon I'm not concerned about, but I want to see how many of these cantaloupes I can keep. I just cannot believe this is all Clintonville sold. That is just atrocious. But some of these melons are good in here, so I'll keep some of the nice ones. All right, Joel's gonna take care of moving these 2 trucks out and move his corn out of the way. I better move this forklift. Move these tomatoes out of the way. See how many grape tomatoes we got left here? That's ridiculous. I mean, that's almost 1/3 or half of what I loaded on the trucks. No demand for the grape tomatoes anymore. It's That's why we quit picking them. All right, let's get to Marysville and get this trailer. I'm gonna have to call Aubrey and tell her I'm running 15 minutes behind schedule. I got so wrapped up in putting everything away and organizing in the cooler, I lost track of time. All right, see you in Marysville. All right, made it back to Marysville. A lot of empty tubs, I like that. Looks like you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's been.
It looks like you did pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. Shut this noisy truck off for a minute. You forgot your banner. Nope, come on out. Last customer of the day. One final customer. Did you already batch out and close out and everything?
Yeah.
Hey.
How you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just closed out our credit card machine a few minutes ago.
Oh, really?
All right, we still got to sweep up our mess and check these last folks out, and we'll be on the road. How'd you get along with your knee?
Pretty good.
Didn't have any injuries or slips or
No,
falls or
except
anything?
The fact that I had 300 people ask me what was wrong.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Thank you.
So looking around the trailer here, she has one tub of corn here, one tub underneath, a little over a box and a half of peaches. This is just corn scraps. And looks like 2, 4, 5 boxes of tomatoes left. Started with 20, so that's not too bad for this time of year. And maybe I didn't show you, the melons just about sold out. Man, look at that beast. That looks like that might be that big Bertha melon. I can't believe no one wanted that melon for $6. This thing weighs 35 pounds. And some of the melons are looking a little bit rough. I think these have run their course. I mean, they're perfect to eat right now, but they're not gonna hold till next week, so these are gonna have to go. All right, let's close this thing up. I'm ready to get home and call it a day. All right, Aubrey. Thanks for all your help today. I don't think we could have got through today without your help. And what's your schedule looking like for the next couple weeks until you go back to school?
Yeah, I'm coming home a couple Saturdays though. I'll have to
Okay.
check again. I told Natalie, but
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Does she have you on a schedule for next week? I haven't even looked.
Tuesday.
On Tuesday for Hilliard? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm not coming home Saturday.
Okay. All right, well, either I or Natalie will touch base with you about the future weeks here.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
See ya.
Okay, looks like we're good to go. Back to the farm. All right, made it back to the farm. Someone is here gleaning. One of our longtime employees, Taryn. She likes to come over and find some good stuff in the trash piles. So a lot of my viewers always ask me what I do with all the leftover produce. I tell them that some of it goes in the cooler and some of it goes to people like you who like to glean through the garbage. A lot of good stuff in there. It's just not quite good enough to take to the market. All right, I'm gonna bring my pallet out here, get all this stuff offloaded, and I'm ready to wrap this day up. I thought I was gonna have to unload all this by myself, but she's jumped up there and helped. Made my unloading process a lot easier. Well, I think we'll put the peaches on here too. We'll keep this crate of corn. This one kind of looks like been picked over pretty good, so we'll let Tara dig through that one. Oh man, does it feel good in here. Oh. We're starting to really get loaded up on tomato boxes. Those were all sold mostly last weekend, and we haven't refilled any of them because we are not picking our hydroponic tomatoes anymore. This is what was sold today. Pretty good load. I still got to go through all these cantaloupes, figure out which ones I want to save and throw out. The watermelon are fine though. Putting all the leftover tomatoes back in the cooler. A lot of these were not red yet, and that's why they didn't sell well. You can see how light colored some of these are. Especially that pile over there. They're like half turned. So they did not sell that great today, but they will look nice for this week's sales as they continue to ripen. Feels good in here too. 61 degrees. I never would have thought 61 degrees would feel so good. Feels almost like a refrigerator in here. And what's funny is that when we get to late September, October, you'll come in here and it'll actually feel like it's heated because it's so cold outside. I was able to save one bin from all the cantaloupes that came home. So this is what came home today, unfortunately. And one other bin out there that I'm gonna throw out. The ones I'm throwing out are kind of small and just overripe. Nothing I can do with them. So I think if I combined all these, it'd probably be one heaping bin. Obviously not ideal. We had a couple markets that just didn't move a lot of cantaloupes. And that's what happens sometimes. That's just the nature of vegetable farming. You have good days, you have bad days, you have good markets, you have bad markets. And for the most part, everything was really good today, but definitely down a little bit on some of the cantaloupe sales. All right, 12 hours later, my day is finally coming to an end, and boy, am I glad. I am so ready to get out of this heat and humidity and go inside and enjoy the AC, some good food, and some company with my wife. Guys, I'm really curious what you thought about this style or format of video, doing the point of view of an entire market day from start to finish, from beginning to end. I've always wanted to do this and I just never tried it. So I know today's video was really, really long, but it made filming for me really easy. So I think what I'm going to do in the future is maybe a little bit of both. Some point of view and some vlogging style where I'm talking to the camera like I am right now. So I'm really curious how you folks liked it, so be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. This is where we're going to wrap this one up today, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you all again next time, down on the farm.